Hello and welcome to the Golf Digest Middle East preview of the 27th edition of the Amiga Dubai Desert Classic. We're delighted to be joined by the head professional here at Emirates Golf Club, the host venue of the tournament, Stephen Deane. Thank you very much for joining us, Stephen. And we're in its 27th year. You look down the list of past champions of the Amiga Dubai Desert Classic, and it's really just a who's who, isn't it, of the legends of the game. Guys that you know by their first name, Ernie, Seve, Tiger, Rory. You know, it has produced over the years an incredible list of champions, hasn't it?
For sure, you know, the rule of honour, as you say, you look down that list, is pretty phenomenal. And major winners as well. It always produces a great champion. We've seen that over the years. Last year with Rory McIlroy, again we expect a great performance from him this week after coming off a nicely played event in Abu Dhabi. I know he hasn't won that event, but he always seems to play really well there.
Yeah, indeed. Rory playing himself into form down in Abu Dhabi and defending the title he won so impressively last year. We managed to catch up with the World No.2 at the Bow Store Dubai Mall a little earlier on in the week. You know, Tiger had a few venues where he had such great success. Dubai's kind of becoming that for you, isn't it, with the two Desert Classics and the two DP World Championships?
Yeah, 4 wins here in Dubai in my career. It's been a good place for me. It really has. It's you know, it's sort of provided, you know, probably about 20% of the wins in my career so far, and you know, I've always played well here. I love the climate. I love the golf courses that we play. I mean, you know, the Emirates that we're playing this week for the Desert Classic is one of my favorite courses, and the Earth course at Jumeirah Golf Estate seemed to set up perfectly for me. So it's been a good place for me, and you know, I love coming back here. It's a bit like a second home for me now, with, you know, the relationships that I've built up throughout the years.
Well, that was Rory McIlroy at the Dubai Mall talking a little bit earlier on this week, and he was talking about the success he's had in Dubai, and it really is a place that's kind of indelibly linked to Rory, isn't it? You know, he made his first European Tour cut here at this tournament. He won his first European Tour event back in 2009, and you know, a second one now. He could draw level with Ernie if he manages to win this week. It's a place that really is intrinsically linked to Rory McIlroy, isn't it?
Exactly. You know, he's been coming here from an amateur in the early days just to practice and work on his game. But he seems to really love the Majlis golf course. I think the big factor as well, he can easily hit that high right to left draw, which bodes well for the Majlis. You know, he can take the ball over the corners and really shorten the par 4s and the par 5s, so he gives himself lots of eagle and birdie opportunities out there.
Indeed. Well, the focus as we begin this week is definitely on Rory McIlroy, but he's by no means the only guy in with a chance of winning this famous trophy. There's a long list of players who are contenders, let's be honest. The European Tour is so deep now, the fields are so strong. We've got Henrik Stenson here, we've got Martin Keimer, Graham McDowell, lots of other great players. Who's impressed you on the range this week?
This week I've been keeping a close eye on young Thomas Pieters. You know, he struck the ball beautifully in practice and out on the golf course during his practice rounds. He played exceptionally well in Abu Dhabi. He was in the final group, and I think he was one shot behind, I think. But I think if we keep a close eye on him this week, he'll be right there.
Indeed, and a guy I quite like the look of is Rafa Cabrera Bello. Tied for second last week in Doha, played decent in Abu Dhabi as well, and he's a former champion here back in 2012, so he's got the course pedigree, hasn't he, Stephen?
Oh, for sure. You know, he's a past champion. Again, he can hit that right to left ball flight. He's been playing well recently, like you said, so I would expect to see his name up there come Sunday. Okay,
well, Rory and Henrik and all those guys at the top are all going to fancy their chances this week, but it really is a wide open field, and we think you should come down and enjoy this iconic event because it really has got the history and the pedigree, hasn't it, this tournament? It's got something special.
Yeah, well, it's a spectacular golf course, Robbie. You know, this year the greens as always are very fast, but the fairways are firm. You know, so that kind of opens up the field to maybe some of the shorter hitters this year. We don't know. The back nine, particularly on Sunday, you know, anything can happen out there. You've got a short par 4, 17th hole. You know, the guys can drive that hole. A reachable hole in 2 on the par 5, 18th. You know, so it always bodes for a very spectacular finish and to a great champion.
Well, indeed, that 3-shot victory from Rory McIlroy last year was the first time since 2002 that this tournament didn't come down to the absolute wire and was won either in a playoff or by one single shot. So drama is guaranteed here at Emirates Golf Club this week for the 27th edition of the Amiga Dubai Desert Classic. Golf Digest Middle East will be providing live updates as all the action unfolds, and if not, you should come down and enjoy it for yourself.